What's good? Hey, it's Friday. We doing another live. This been a busy week for lives. Only because it's just been so many good stories to talk about. So I was like, anytime I saw a good story, let me go ahead and throw it on. I'm gonna keep this one short because hey, it's movie night over here at the DFD compound. But we're definitely gonna dive into something that's interesting. If you're new to the channel, I'm Marcus, the Debt Free Dad, where we talk finances, financial takes, topics, attorney reactions, and the whole nine. Hey, I am a licensed attorney. I'm licensed in a few places. None of those places amount to me being your counsel. If you saw the last live I did yesterday, hey, I always recommend and advise everyone if you need professional services, find a professional in your area. Don't listen to a talking head on YouTube, even if I'm the talking head. Check your resources, do your due diligence, seek a professional in your area. I know I look crazy because I was like, y'all ever do something like I did something that was counterproductive to actually what I left the house to do. I left to go to the gym and work out, but after I worked out, I went and got food that I probably shouldn't have got. It was so counterproductive, but that's neither here nor there. In this video, okay, this is essentially, I'm gonna say, video number 2 of what I like to call sidebar. Well, DFD, what is sidebar? Hey, yeah, a sidebar is when you're in court, when the attorney say, Yana, permission to approach the bench, and all the lawyers come up and they talk about something and they cut the microphone off so nobody else in the courtroom can't hear. The jury can't hear. The Nobody can hear. Only the attorneys. And so it's those private conversations that are off the records that people are talking about. So in these segments, I like to put y'all into the mind frame of an attorney, what my thoughts were, what the thought process were. Now, I did a video earlier this week, and I did another one maybe a week ago. Yeah, I'm jumping on the train. I'm jumping on the content train. I did a video where I broke down and talked about Cesar Pina's arrest. So he has one count indictment for wire fraud, carries a 20-year term in prison, right? Now, after he made his bond, he had $1 million bond. He made his bond, came up with 10% of that. I don't know, property, cash, or whatever. But he made his bond. After he made his bond, the very first thing that he did was, well, I guess the second, after he got a haircut, he went to go on IG Live to talk about his case, right? Now, I talked a little bit about DJ Envy doing this, right? Sometimes y'all make it real hard for people to do their job. The hardest part of being an attorney is not having doing research, is not having a jury trial, is not figuring out the facts and the witnesses. The hardest part is getting a client who will actually listen. I guarantee you 125% that his attorney said, let's not talk about this. But he went on IG Live. It's 2023. Hey, you want repping if you want self snitching. So he went on IG Live and he talked about what's going on with his lawsuits and the legal situations. Now, he said one thing. I saw other videos where people broke down what he was saying and they heard something, but I heard something completely different. Okay. I just think different. I've been practicing law for almost 14 years now. I've been in the defense, the prosecution side. So I said, you know what? I'm going to break down this video and I'm going to let y'all know what the prosecutors heard. What did the prosecutors hear when he decided to go on live and to go on IG Live and talk about his case? Now, let's remember, as an attorney, words are our tools. Most of the time is the power of the pen because we got to write a lot of briefs even before we go to court to make our argument. But being a good orator and being able to lay out a story in a concise, detailed way is our profession. You can tell a story by what you say. You can tell a story how you say certain things, and you damn sure can tell a story by what you omit or do not say. So I wanted to go over this IG Live video and break down for y'all what did my attorney prosecutor ears hear that the average person probably didn't get. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, like this video and leave a comment to let me know your thoughts. Let's go ahead and dive in. Y'all let me know what's the best way to put this up. Since it's weird because it's an IG live. The comments is hilarious though. Like I kind of want to do it that way to see if y'all can see the comments because the comments had me dying. But hey, we're gonna watch some of this. We're not gonna go through all of it because this damn thing was like 22 minutes long. We're gonna check out some of what he said on his IG live. I'm gonna tell you what I heard as an attorney and what prosecutors heard and how he didn't help himself. He should shut the hell up. When you have a legal situation, especially an indictment where you can end up in prison for 20 years, do not talk about it. Do not talk about anything to anybody. Don't like as a firm believer of your Second Amendment right to bear arms. I told people in a class, I had to go to a class to renew my permit. I was like, yo, if something happened and you had the use of force situation where you had to use your firearm, I wouldn't even call 911. I would get somebody else to call 911. Because if you call 911, that tape is going to be used potentially against you. And if you don't know what to say, you're excited, heat of the moment is going to be a problem. So general rule is when you have any legal exposure, especially criminal exposure, shut up. You got a lawyer, let them do their job. We can't do our job if you keep talking. You keep trying to win the social media battle, and that battle is irrelevant. Because honestly, the more people talk, and we're going to go through this, the guiltier they are. I think this was a terrible interview. I think he did himself a disservice, and I'm going to let you know exactly what the prosecutors heard when they listened to this IG live, because I damn sure know they listened.
I apologize that I haven't really spoken out, right? Because
how long you think you
we have attorneys. We got to watch what we say. All these different things. There's so many different rules now, right? Every 5 minutes, I say hi to my mailman, and I think he's gonna sue me, right? At this point, I think my landscaper, I think everybody's suing me. I don't know who's gonna sue me. I can't say anything, right? The one thing I am gonna say, whenever you touch success, right, you get all these people that want to be around you, right? Everybody wants to be a friend. Everybody wants to just touch you, right? Because like, oh my God, I touched this guy, he'll change my life, right? I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm successful, right? I was successful. Everybody wants to be my friend.
It's still lying.
Everybody wants to be around me. As soon as
Cesar
shit hits the fan, all these people that have profited from my success, which there's more people that profited from my success than the people that are suing me. But yeah, all these people that profited from my success, all the people that I have bailed out of jail, all the people that I have put cars in my name, apartments in my name, helped them with down payments for houses, helped them with this, helped them with when they can't pay their rent. Where are these people at? I don't see them, but yet I got all the haters, right? All
right, real quick. I already see what's going to be a problem. And I'm sure his attorney, he probably got some expensive ass attorney who's, probably billing this dude like $1,000 an hour. That's what I would charge him. I'm like, nah, you don't get the friend fee. Nah, we're gonna run it up. Hey, we reserve the right to do that. But I'm gonna tell y'all, let me give y'all a little bit of a breakdown how things work in court, okay? Because this is gonna be interesting. Because right now, what he's doing in this video, he's talking about his character as a person, right? When you're in a criminal trial, there's an express rule of evidence for character evidence, and it's important that you all know how this rule works. So let me break this down. All right, if a person is on a criminal trial, right, the only things that are at issue is the facts related to the circumstances that are being argued. Whether or not he committed fraud. Did he use an electronic means of telecommunications to transfer this money? Is he going to be guilty of wire fraud? That's the only thing that's at issue. During trial, a person's character evidence is not at issue, okay? So generally, character evidence is not admissible. So as a general rule, like if I'm charged with a crime and I want to go up there and be like, yo, I want to, generally the prosecution can't bring in characters evidence of a person being a bad guy. If I'm charged with theft, the prosecution can't bring a witness up to be like, yo, he stole from his grandmother when he was in high school. This dude's a scoundrel. If you steal from your grandmother, he damn sure stole from the store. Prosecution can't do that. Now, when can the prosecution actually attack a person's character who's on trial? Well, when that individual opens the door. So I already see what's going to happen. What he's doing right now is trying to play to his character. I'm a good person. I help people out. I would never do this because I have such a good character. If he goes on the stand and his attorney or through witness testimony, they start to bolster his character up. They try to talk about his character of being a good person, generous with money, helping people out. That's all fine and dandy, and that sounds really great. But with character evidence, once the defendant opens the door, like the prosecution can't talk about character evidence unless you try to build up your character. So the minute he tries to build up his character about how good of a person he is, what do you think the prosecution is going to do? They're going to stack a bunch of people on the stand to say how whack and how terrible his character is. So character evidence is one of those things where generally, as a defense attorney, I never touched it. I was like, yo, we're going to stick to the facts. We're going to stick to the facts around what's really at issue. I don't really care about your character for you being a good person, because if you want me to bring up 3 people to say you're a good person, I'm sure they can find 6 people to say you ain't, you know what. So that's what he's doing. He's trying to build up his character. That could kick him in his ass and backfire at trial. Again, if you're on trial, the prosecution cannot attack your character for being a bad person or a thief or anything like that. But the minute you open the door by trying to build up your character, now the prosecution can attack your character. And, you know, typically, I could probably count on one hand the amount of times where I wanted to really introduce character evidence as a defense attorney. I just generally didn't want to do it because I was like, your pastor and the school guidance counselor want to talk about how good you are, but I don't want to go through the list of 65,000 people they're gonna bring up here to tell you ain't ish. So we don't want to go down that road.
20 baloney fans, they're on my page. You're going to jail. Pay the people. But yet, there's 2-3 sides to every story, right? I have 20 lawsuits. Out of those 20 lawsuits, a lot of those people I don't owe money to.
All right. Out of those 20 lawsuits, a lot of those people I don't owe money to. So what I heard as an attorney is, so you do owe some people money, just not by your definition of a lot. Out of those 20, I don't owe a lot of people money. I don't owe a lot of them. What's a lot of them to you? 5, 3, 2, 10, 11? So he don't think he said anything, but he just said something. I do owe some of these people money. I admit that I owe some of these people money. I don't owe a lot of them, but I admit I owe some of those people. That's what he just said. He should have kept that mouth shut. But let's move on and see what else the prosecution or the counsel in any of these civil trials heard during his IG live self-snitching session.
Because everybody's suing me because they're like, oh my God, this guy's successful. I could sue him. I could sue him. I could sue him. Or I'm going to get this money, right? Then you have all these people being what's the word? Coerced? Whatever it is, whatever the word is, right? To sue people affiliated with me just because they're a bigger name, right? They're a bigger name than me. And that's the situation that breaks my heart the most, is how in all these lawsuits, these 20 lawsuits, DJ Envy was never in the room. DJ Envy has nothing to do with any of these 20 lawsuits of these people that are suing me.
All right, this is big right here, because what he said right there was important. The average person ain't going to pick up on this, right? You got to have those counsel ears. You had to have a few jury trials under your belt and some years of deposition and doing cross-examination, okay? So the first thing we picked up on is, he said, of the 20 people, a lot of them I don't owe money. So you do owe some people money. So if I look at those civil lawsuits and I pull out some of those cases, you just conceded that some of those people I do owe money. So that's leaning towards potential finesse, right? Now, he keeps talking about these 20 lawsuits. So he's really focused on the civil side, which is, it makes no sense. Maybe if it was just me, you can lose a lot of lawsuits as a business person civilly and still find some way to operate. Let's just ask Donald Trump. Like it's not possible for everybody, but you can do it. You can rebuild. Okay. He's worried about and talking about these 20 lawsuits. He's not even talking about the criminal aspect, and he's saying things right now that's really putting his foot in his mouth. Let me rewind it back real quick because I want to see
with me just because they're a bigger name, right? They're a bigger name than me. And that's the situation that breaks my heart the most, is how in all these lawsuits, these 20 lawsuits, DJ Envy was never in the room with me. DJ Envy has nothing to do with any of these 20 lawsuits.
Okay. Now, I saw a lot of people watch this and was like, yo, this dude is mad loyal to DJ Envy. That's a yes and no, because remember, your words are important. Think about what he said. He said DJ Envy was never, of all these 20 lawsuits, DJ Envy had nothing to do with it. Of all of these 20 lawsuits, he had nothing to do with it. DJ Envy was never in the room with me for these 20 lawsuits. So that's for the 20 civil lawsuits. Why did he make it? He specifically said DJ Envy was not a part of anything for these 20 lawsuits. So it's weird. I find that weird because normally you would say, yo, DJ Envy ain't have nothing to do with any of this. So, I mean, I'm just telling you, this what jumps out to me as him saying this. It seems weird that he specified that DJ Envy had nothing to do with anything related to those 20 lawsuits. And early on, he didn't address anything as regards to Envy having no culpability on the criminal matter. Now, he might address it later, but so far, he should have shut the hell up. I'm still on board with that. Let's continue.
Of these people that are suing me. And it fucking sucks, bro. It pisses me off that all these people are bashing DJ Envy, from Master Flex, Rick Ross, every single person. Because what you people got to understand is that DJ Envy is so successful in hip hop that, as far as a DJ, that people just don't like him. And even though I love DJ Envy, but 9 out of 10 people don't like him. I don't know why.
9 out of 10 people.
You know what's that about? I don't know if DJ Envy is a bad tipper. I don't know what it is. Well, he is a bad tipper. I'm not gonna lie, he is a bad tipper. Sorry, Em. But you know, you got this guy, Tony the Closer, making, talking like there's a narrative, right? And people don't see it. I talk shit about DJ Envy. I talk shit about Cesar. I'm selling my girl's ugly ass boots. I talk shit about DJ Envy. I talk shit about Cesar. I talk shit about Jenny Tips. I'm selling a real estate course. I talk shit about Cesar. I talk shit about DJ Envy. I'm selling an ugly ass t-shirt. And people don't see that, right? They're not seeing that. Then all these people with these lawsuits, they're all suing me, right? Again, before 2023, I had one lawsuit. Now I have 20 ever since this guy started bashing me.
All right, that's just a stupid thing to even say. I mean, he could have left that out. I only had one lawsuit from 2017 to 2023. Yeah, because it takes time for people to actually file a case. It takes time for the evidence to build. And the other part is we don't know how long you've been stringing them along. You could have been like, oh, I'm going to give you your money. Hold on, take my trap lord, slum lord chain or whatever. So I think that was a crazy point to make that should have been omitted.
Jose the Credit Dude, the biggest piece of shit in the world. This guy's a fucking scumbag. Goes on Tony's page in May, says Cesar owes me $200,000. He didn't pay me. Yet Jose the Credit Dude, I have the receipts that I paid you back in November, back in January. Now you go in May.
When did you pay him? November or January? This is just all downhill.
And you make up this lie. And you start this whole thing where now all these people are being affected, right? Because at the end of the day, it is what it is. If I owe somebody, I owe somebody.
All right. Hey, that now let's if I owe somebody, I owe somebody. early on, he already said of the 20 people, I don't owe a lot of them. You owe some of them. So, I mean, hey, I'm not saying that's an admission, but I think that that is very viable evidence to use if a person has evidence to substantiate that he does, in fact, owe them money, which, like he admitted to, some of the 20 can substantiate that he owed money. And he just said, if I owe you money, I owe you money. So, again, self snitching 101, things not to do when you have a lawsuit, especially if it's an indictment and you're looking at prison time.
Nobody is here to lie or whatever. I owe you, you sue me, or court of law will work the shit out, whatever it is, right? But now all these people putting this energy behind this machine, putting this energy. Tony the Closest does not give a fuck about victims. All the money that he made from the t-shirts that he sold or the badges, he is not donating to victims. He's not giving them money.
All right. The other thing is, again, my prosecutor, former defense attorney is like, yo, come on, bro. Why are you referring to people who invested as your fund as victims? You're the person on trial. Why are you referring to them as victims? You should say he's not trying to return the losses of these investors. That is what he should be saying. He shouldn't be saying shit, personally. He should be quiet and not be saying anything. But when you're referring to your investors as victims, that's a big ass red flag. I mean, that's just, hey, words are our trade. And right now, he fumbling and bumbling all the words. And I thought this part was funny. Let me rewind it back just a
energy, putting this energy. Tony the Closest does not give a fuck about victims. All the money that he made from the t-shirts that he sold or the badges, he is not donating to victims. He's not giving them money. He's just in it for the clicks.
All right. So, hey, why he remind me, y'all make sure y'all hit the subscribe button and like this video. We want to get them clicks up, like my guy said. But think about what he said. He addressing his investors as victims. Stupid. He clearly didn't talk to anybody before he did this video. He just did it on his own. But the other thing is, and he's talking about Tony the Closer. Tony the Closer is a YouTuber, I think he was a former NFL player, does some investing. He's pretty big in black social media, especially in the finance space. And he said Tony the Closer doesn't care about the victims because when he sells his t-shirts, he's not giving the money to the victims. Why would he give money from t-shirts that he sells for his brand to as who you're referring to as victims of your real estate investments? That would make no sense. The only way he would want to give money back to victims is if he sold them a defective shirt. He sold the shirt, they got the product. Because he cares about the victim or doesn't care about the victim, that would be asinine to be like, hey, I'm selling my merch over here, but I care so much about the victims of Cesar Pina's situation. You refer to them as victims, so that's how I'm gonna refer to them. Let me donate this money. That don't even make any sense. So now he just fishing, but big ass no. You don't refer to, if I'm on trial for fraud and running a real estate Ponzi scheme, I'm never referring to anyone who invested with me as a victim. I'm referring to them as investors because that's what they are. So your words are important. You know, sometimes it's Freudian slips. We say things that are actually the truth too. All right, let's dive back in.
Just like everybody else, right? So all these people are feeding this machine. You're feeding this machine. You're feeding this machine. Oh, I hope he gets locked up. I hope he gets locked up. I hope he gets locked up. I got locked up. I'm still here, right? So now I'm here. And guess what, you fucking geniuses that you all wanted me seeing get charged and get locked up? Now the government is involved. Now the government's going to come in and say,
all right, so now he transitioned to the criminal stuff. All the stuff he said before, it could screw him up on the civil side and the criminal side. But this is the first time that he mentioned anything with regard to the criminal indictment.
Hey, we're staying all these lawsuits till your criminal proceedings are done. So guess what? From a year to 2 years to getting paid, now it could be 3 to 5 years. And if you guys will be lucky if you see anything. And
all right, just from a legal standpoint, he had 20 lawsuits that were filed. They were all civil lawsuits. Now the government indicted him on one count of wire fraud, where he's looking at 20 years, $250,000 fine, or 2 times whatever the illegal recovery was. Now he just said that everybody who filed a civil lawsuit, because y'all got everybody all up in a tizzy, so to speak, and got everybody ramped up. Now the government's involved. Well, now that the government is involved, all of those civil lawsuits are stayed. That means they're on pause. The statute of limitation isn't moving. The clock is not ticking against anybody who filed the lawsuit. All those cases are stayed until the criminal matter is resolved. So what he's saying is, because the criminal case is involved, now y'all might not get nothing because it may not be no money to have. So one, in these types of Ponzi cases, there's probably never any money to have anyway. On average, it's probably like, I would probably say, on average of all these cases I've seen on either side, defense or investigations or whatever, probably 10 cent on the dollar if you're lucky. I mean, on average, you're not getting the big ass, you're not getting 50 cent on the dollar return. So he's going, any money that he has that may be viable, you know who's going to get it? A co-counsel. The attorneys are probably going to eat that up. But from a legal standpoint, that's actually what you want to do. You can have two parallel things going on. You can have civils going on and you can have criminal. And most of the time, if this situation is unique, because I think he also has a bankruptcy case, which is going to, I mean, it's only going to make it more messy for people trying to recover. But let's take the bankruptcy out of it. Let's say if he got the civil cases, he got the criminal cases. The criminal cases, he's saying that now the civil cases are stayed. That's generally, not all the time, it may not work well recovery wise, but generally you will want the criminal case to go forward first, because think about it. In order to find someone guilty of a crime, you need 12 jurors. The person need to plead guilty, or you need 12 jurors to say they did it. If 12 jurors agree that they did it, that's easy. For a civil side, you only need half plus one. So you need 7 out of 12 people to say that he's civilly liable for the money that he owes. Well, what happens? In a criminal case, if he gets convicted of fraud as it related to properties that involve some of the persons who are suing him civilly, once he gets convicted over here, the civil attorney's job is mad easy, because he literally just got convicted or pled guilty to the exact thing that we're suing him for, which is where my clients lost money. That's what the attorneys are going to say. So that's what he means by the stay, and they won't get anything. And that's why when you have parallel things, generally, not all the times, but most times, it's better to let the criminal matter go through first, because if you get a conviction there, it makes it really easy on the civil side, because the civil standard to prove is way less than the criminal standard.
This is like the most retarded shit in the world. Instead of having a conversation with somebody that's been successful for all these years, I have a track record from 2017 to 2022 of no lawsuits, no problems. Then this guy starts bashing me. I got a shitload of lawsuits.
No lawsuits,
right?
Is not indicative of no problems.
And again, you know, it is what it is. If I owe. Nobody is here saying that
Boy,
I'm
you a damn thief. The comments are hilarious.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
So he does owe people.
You know, people come on my page that
I never read the comments. One of the comments said, "So he does owe people." Yeah, he admitted that. So even lay persons who aren't attorneys can listen to this and see, like, yo, this dude is making so many admissions. I need to kill that. There's a damn gnat or something in here that's annoying me. But I wish my dog was up here. He hates flies and he'd go crazy. But yeah, even everybody watching this live is like, yo, bro, you doing the worst.
I don't owe money to or have any deals with, and they're talking shit all day. All these trolls, right? I wish all these people would put this energy to actually get a fucking job or be successful at something, right? Tony the Closer doesn't own any real estate. He's a fake real estate guru, right?
Bruh. Man, you want to talk about the pot caller, the kettle black. This dude, he's a fake real estate guru. I don't know, man. One hasn't been indicted and the other one hasn't. But, you know, I'm going to leave that out there. When you start name calling, boy, that's when you know you digging and reaching.
I'm the real deal. Even though now I'm going through some shit that I got to deal with, that I'm a fucking man first. So whatever I am responsible for, I am responsible for. And if I hurt anybody in any way, made their life difficult, I apologize.
Man, this dude just making admission after admission. Hey, it's about 4 admissions It's about 4 admissions I heard, but hey, I'm a man, and hey, I'm responsible for what I'm responsible for. So I mean, this dude is just digging this hole deeper and deeper, in my opinion.
But my life has been difficult. All of my friends and all the people that have success with me, where are they? Have any of them come up here and told me, yo, Cesar, you good? Cesar, somebody put online, they're going to kill your daughter. They're going to kidnap your mother. They're going to rape you. They're going to rape this person. Even raid my house, and I'm the target. How the fuck are they going to rape out? This shit keeps on. Then you got these reporters, right, making up like the other day, our Heart Radio's office got raided. They didn't even raid my house, and I'm the target. How the fuck are they going to raid the radio station? What are they going to take? The fucking CDs? The records? Where are they taking? Like, this shit is crazy. This shit makes no sense. Tony the Closer says every week, Cesar owes 100 million, 80 million, 60 million, 50 million, 10 million. Fuck. I almost believe him that I owe 100 million. I don't even know at this point, right? Because the story's just fucking going in circles. Last week I got hit with one kind of wire fraud. That was my complaint right now. They said that maybe I have.
And again, with that one count of wire fraud, when I went through that, I'm shocked that is one count of wire fraud. I've never in my life had a case, and I had a bunch of cases with wire mail fraud, easy charges, easy to get, easy to prove. It extends the statute of limitations for other criminal acts. Beautiful statute from a prosecution standpoint. I never in my life had a case where a person did one instance of wire fraud. That was kind of weird. I'm like, normally every financial transaction goes from one place to another place through some type of electronic telecommunications means. So normally it's like I had cases where a person was charged with 36 counts of wire fraud for every transfer that occurred with regard to a fraudulent transaction. So I was actually shocked to see one count of wire fraud. Now remember, indictments can be amended and or supplemented, but that did shock me that he only had one count, just knowing how easy it is to find a wire fraud, facts to support a wire fraud indictment.
Access to 17 million. So where's the 100 million that everybody's talking about? Right? Again, I have nothing against the government. The government is doing their case. I understand it. This guy has created this frenzy where hundreds of people, 500 people are calling every single fucking day to see this shit on social media saying that I'm defrauding people and I owe people money. But I don't know these people, right? And all this shit is going on. And it's like, bro, social media is like the fucking devil.
Social media is the devil, yet you decide to get on here even though you got an attorney. Come on, bro.
This shit is crazy. Like, it just
sense.
Makes no sense. And my whole case, everything that's going on is based on social media. Everybody's looking at social media and this whole thing and listening to people that are lying. I'll give you an example. There's this guy, he went on Channel 4 News. He's suing me, right? Let's say his first name is, I don't even want to say his name, right? But his name starts with an N. He sues me ahead of our transaction is done and says, I'm only suing you. Every single woman that complains when you read them, I'm suing you because Tony the Closer said you're scamming people. I'm suing you because I saw it on social media. This is what people say in these complaints, right?
You know what? Why don't you talk about Jeff?
Yeah, but hold on. So this guy, letter N, sues me before his deal's done. He goes on News 4 the other day, and I text him back, which I have the receipts, and people are going to see that. Bro, DJ Envy was never in the room with you. Jennifer, my wife, was never in the room with you. My brother wasn't in the room with you. Why are you suing him? You know what he texted me back?
I'm laughing at the comments. The comments are hilarious. I wish I'd have saw this live.
The other day,
I would exercise the right to remain silent. Oh, man. Man, this is hilarious.
This guy from Patterson, Jeff, his son passed away, R.I.P. Jeff. He goes on Channel 4 and says that I owe his son $900,000. I changed that kid, Jeff's life. His father was in foreclosure, losing his car wash, losing his the dry cleaning place or wash and fold. I changed Jeff's life when he met me. And people in Patterson know this. And I have the receipts and I have the text messages. I helped him save his car wash. I helped him save. I even paid for his property taxes. The first house that he bought, I gave him the down fucking payment.
Again, he trying to build up his character. I haven't heard him say anything about the money that he allegedly owes this guy. He just said, this guy said I owe him this much. Man, I helped him do this, this, and this. Helping somebody and owing somebody from a transaction that could potentially be a finesse is two different things.
And I have the receipts, and these people are talking about it. They're all talking, making up these stories. Bro, I have a text message from you for these 20 lawsuits. My wife was never in the room with me. Like, I have so many receipts on all these transactions and all these things, but people are still making up lies, and this thing is like out of control. Again, DJ Envy has never been in the room with me in any of these transactions for these 20 lawsuits. My wife was never in the room with me. My brother was never in the room with me. All of this falls on me.
Man, this dude is just the worst. Again, now he's saying that Envy, his wife, his brother, never had been in the room. One, you don't got to be a room. You don't got to be in the room because I'm less concerned with the civil stuff because you could violate something civilly and not be in the pokey, so to speak. But he's focusing on these civil things and they weren't in the room. But I just find it odd that he's specifically excluding, like, hey, they weren't in the room on this anything civil, but doesn't address anything on the criminal side where there's some criminal exposure. That's just a weird way for him to phrase it. Like, for these 20 lawsuits, they didn't do anything. Like, if I said, like, for these 20 lawsuits, they didn't do anything. Okay, so what did they do something for? That's the way he's talking is that would immediately be your next question that you would ask.
I'm a man and it falls on my shoulders, nobody else. You could talk shit on this live, don't matter. You could talk shit on my page, don't matter. It doesn't bother me. None of it bothers me. I'm not affected by it, right?
Nobody lying on you.
And like I said, any person that I also apologize to the people that's still in my corner, right? But
I'm laughing at the comments. R. Kelly look hella light skinned now.
I'm at the point now that I can't communicate with anybody because now everybody's a potential co-conspirator.
Yeah,
everybody is a witness. Everybody is a victim.
Why would you even want to talk
right?
to you?
It's not nobody's an investor anymore. Anybody's a victim. I invested in this company, Vision Bio. I invested $200,000, right? To give you an example, I invested in this company $200,000. It was supposed to go public. It hasn't gone public in 3 years. Now, am I going to say I'm a victim of this company?
All right. That's enough of this guy because this guy is the ultimate. This guy is the ultimate person example of what not to do when you're charged with a federal crime. But in that 12 minutes of video, he made several admissions. He referred to his own investors as victims. That's crazy. That would be like just imagine if I don't know that's crazy. That's crazy. That would be the equivalent of I don't even want to give that example, but when you're charged with a crime and you're saying that something was legit and it was a consensual business transaction, you should never refer to them as victims. That's like saying, like, oh man, me and the victim, we've been together for a long time, man. I would never hit her because me and the victim been together for a long time. What? You and the victim been together for a long time. Why are you referring to it like that? You better say boo or bay or something. But yeah, this dude should have shut up. He clearly didn't. In that 12-minute thing, attorneys had just a bunch of stuff to attack, a bunch of admissions on him owing people money, admissions to him being responsible for it with regard to the 20 lawsuits, admissions that there were victims, and the definition of a victim is somebody who got taken advantage of. That's his words, not mine. So, the moral of this story is do business the right way. Don't let social media influence a business decision without doing your due diligence and talking to a professional. And Lord, if you ever have an interaction with law enforcement, do not say anything. Just say, I want my lawyer, and don't say anything else. Like, I can remember once, I'm gonna get out of here on this story, but I remember once I was in the car going to the theater with my son, right? And this was when I was in court every day. So I knew everybody. I knew all the officers, I knew the judge, every prosecutor, because I was in court literally 5 days a week, hours every day, trials every damn day almost. And so I see the cop, and I was like, he about to pull me over. I already knew it. Me and my son was going to the movies, and he was asleep. We were going to the movies. I remember when we got pulled over. I'm kind of a jerk, okay, and I can do this. Well, I probably can't do it, and I wouldn't advise nobody else to do it. But like, nah, if I get pulled over by a cop, nah, we gonna have some back and forth here because you're not gonna get me on anything. Like, nah, hey, I've been doing this too long. I look like this, but I'm not stupid. So when I have interactions with police officers and they do all that talking, especially if I pick up on them trying to be a little bit shady, nah, man, I throw all of that shit at them because I know the rules. I know how things work. And so one day my son was going out somewhere and he was gonna be out late. And he asked what was the curfew. And I told him the same thing my father told me. You don't have a curfew, you get in when you get in. Just remember, if something happens, you fit the description. I let him self police himself. And he was in at a reasonable time. But he and I were having a conversation because he's seen me interact with law enforcement if I got pulled over or something like that. And so, he probably knows a little bit more than a lot of people with regard to how officers have to interact with people. And I know we were having a conversation and he was like, "Oh yeah, I know they can do this, they can't do this, they have to." I mean, he was just laying out everything because he heard it so much, and I had to give him advice with the same advice I would give anybody. I just don't take my advice because I'm an attorney here. We're gonna have this back and forth and let the fucking chips fall where they may, right? But I tell them, if you have an interaction with law enforcement, don't do what I do because you don't have the ammunition to do what I do or react or interact how I interact with law enforcement. So if you have an interaction with law enforcement, do what Caesar should have did. You listen, you shut the hell up, you comply until you can make your phone call, and you let your lawyer, you let me fight your battle as to if anything happened that was unconstitutional, if there was a violation of a law or process, that's something you let me handle. And the reason is because he's not old enough he knows a lot, but he doesn't know a lot. He could be emotionally finessed. He could be finessed because he's in that pressure situation by law enforcement. So anytime you have an interaction with law enforcement, just don't say anything. Keep your mouth shut is always the best rule of thumb. Yo, I appreciate everybody tuning in. My house is the stay over house tonight. So there's a bunch of kids over here, and we about to go watch a horror movie. Y'all have a good weekend. Be safe. Be blessed. Y'all take care. Peace. Hey, shout out too. Thanks, D, for tuning in. I appreciate it.